Welcome again to everybody. So glad to see everybody here today to celebrate Kelli's book launch. I would like to ask if we could just go around the room and introduce ourselves and maybe share how we know Kelli. And I will start with Kelsey.
Hello. Yes, I am Kelsey Bigelow. I am in Des Moines. I know Kelli. I think we met almost a year ago at Poetry on the Prairie in Perry, Iowa, a local poetry festival that I helped organize and is happening in this coming weekend. So hopefully we see you again. But I had the pleasure of hearing Kelli read at that event and instantly knew I had to connect with her.
Thank you. Frank. Will you be able to talk since you're in the library, or you would put it in chat?
My name is Frank Modica, and I live in Urbana, Illinois. And I know Kelli from an online Facebook group that celebrates the ups and downs of acceptances and rejections, and encouraging people to hang in there, even if go through kind of a challenging streak. And I've been very excited to see the things that Kelli's done. Been very inspired by her author's page and what she's put together, and how she has been able to write and pursue a career in teaching. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Beautiful. Jill.
Hi, my name is Jill Sharon Kimmelman. I live in Delaware, USA, and I've only had the chance to meet Kelli once and all of you for the first time, but I absolutely fell in love with what she read the first time we met. And I told Lisa confidentially, if you'd like anyone, I'm here. I don't generally do that, but I'm excited to be here to celebrate this wonderful book and also to be a part of Memories Made Today. So congratulations, Kelly. It's a pleasure to join you today.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank
Nora?
Hi, I'm Nora Snyder. I'm formerly of Lodi, New York, where I was a librarian. And Kelly participated in one of our Poetry Month type programs. And I was so impressed with her work then. And now I live in Arizona. And I've been following her on social media. And I just find it so exciting to see her evolution of strengthening her writing practice. And then I was just really glad that I could make this event today. Congratulations, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shiksha?
Oh yeah, sorry, my computer's just being weird. My name is Shiksha Dera, and I'm all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. And I met Kelly on Twitter way back in 2021 when I kind of joined Twitter and the writing community. And she's definitely one of the loveliest, most wholesome people that I've met. And she's very supportive, and I'm so honored and excited that I could be a part of this celebration and meet all of you lovely people as well. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kelby?
Hey everyone, my name is Kelby Schultz. I am one of Kelly, or me and Kelly are best friends. We have been best friends, I think, for the last 13 to 10 years. And so I've been able to see Kelly take all of her work and really make it a reality. And so being able to see that the last 10 years, 13 years have been pretty amazing. And just being a part of this book as well, if you haven't read it, or you're able to, it means a lot to me. So yeah, that's why I'm here, just to celebrate and share the excitement. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelby. Mark?
Pam and I are bopping about the farm in Iowa. We are Kelly's father and mother-in-law, and we are so blessed to have Kelly and thankful for the skills of being a writer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Donna?
We are Kelly's parents. Her dad, Steve, here is with me. We have her on our TV. That's why we're not on video right now, so we can mirror it. But we're extremely proud of her and everything that she's accomplished. And this book brought back a lot of memories for me and her dad as well. So I'm glad that she shared them with everyone. And I am just looking for the other great things that she's going to accomplish.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in that. I met Kelly through my press and reading her manuscript, and then fell in love with it. I lived in the Midwest myself for many years, Western Illinois and in Iowa, both sides of Iowa. And so we had that connection as well, and living in rural America, and in that, quite familiar with farm country and that. And now I'm in North Carolina. But I'm really glad to have made this connection with Kelly. And in reading her book, it really just really grabbed my heart. And that's one of the things some people will say, when you read a manuscript, how do you know if it's the one you want to publish or not? And I said, if I see enough poems in a book that grab my heart, I'm probably going to publish it. As long as the person also has to be able to write, and use proper writing skills. But it has to grab me. It has to get there and get a hold. And then because my whole, right down to the title of my press, Prolific Pulse, it has to make an active pulse within me. Everything I do is based on the heart and soul. So Kelli made the cut because she touched my heart with her words. So I'm very proud to have taken her on and published this beautiful book. The cover was fun to do with Kelli. We had different pictures, and we were trying to depict the river life, the country life, and warmth. And I think we pulled it off pretty good, Kelli, with the colors and everything. And I don't know how many different pictures we looked at and kind of went back and forth with to come up with this one. But I was real pleased. I mean, I'm real pleased with it, and had a lot of compliments on the cover. So probably one of my most complimented covers that I've seen. So I'm real happy and very proud about that. I would like to move forward with our wonderful volunteers who are going to read one of Kelli's poems and one of their poems. And so we'll start with Jill. Jill Sharon Kimmelman.
That was the surprise. Okay. Kelli chose for me to read this from the childhood collection of her book. I love it. It's called Finger Painting. Preschool days, we finger painted towards dawn. Oversized white t-shirt, a catch-all for my dripping thumb. We adorned pearl walls above the bathtub. That moment slipped through our fingers before we could call ourselves artists. Oh, how age wiped our palms clean. They washed our portraits down the drain for earth to drink. Sometimes I see those colors spewing from clumped grounds, trying to recall their shapes. Oh, how life remembers. Thank you, Kelli. Okay, the poem I'm sharing has never been shared before. I submitted it to the Garden of Noro, and they have a book called Safe, Brave Space. And this poem is the one that I wrote. Also, if you know Zan Johns, you know she's an amazing poet. And this poem of mine was inspired by Zan's poem from her recent book, Encore. And the poem that she wrote is called Catfish on a Red Plate. This is mine. It's called A New Tradition. By the time I was born, instead of cooking, my grandmother made dinner reservations and inspired delicious conversations. Though I'd heard tell stories of chicken fried in a cast iron skillet, someone else's memories of hot cornbread drizzled with honey, the fluffiest biscuits ever slathered with sweet butter. No cast iron skillet in this girl's life, at least not yet. We have our traditions. Celebrating holidays means family. Foods prepared by generations of women with open hearts and skilled hands. Matzo balls floating in hearty chicken soup. Briskets brimming with carrots and onions in rich, fragrant broth. Sponge cakes light as air. Those Hanukkah latkes crisp on the edges, soft in the center. No matter how many mom makes, Not a single latke is ever left. No cast iron skillet in this girl's life, at least not yet. It's about time. Google yard sales near me. Arrive at sunrise, before the best stuff has been picked over. Search tables, sink into muddy lawns, garish with funny gnomes, pink flamingos, and Christmas lights. At the fourth house, behind cans of SpaghettiOs and organic baby food, I spy a good size cast iron skillet. Grab it, place a $5 bill in the palm of the kid babysitting the tables, run to my car, clutching my find in old newspaper. Scrub that skillet for hours, attacking the crust of dirt and rust until my hands are dark brown, sparkling with tiny splinters. I oil it to a beautiful sheen inside and out. Place it in a warm oven to dry. Now there's a skillet in this girl's life, seasoned with love. Jump forward 20 years. My beloved niece sets her Sabbath table, assisted by her two little girls, ages 4 and 6. Mama, can we use Aunt Jill's skillet to bake our challah? They chorus. I don't see why not, she replies. Aunt Jill would love that we are carrying on the tradition she began. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
My pleasure.
And Kelsey Bigelow.
Yes, okay. So Kelly asked me to read a poem from the adolescence section. And this, I'll read her poem and then I'll read mine. It's so fun reading your poems, Kelly. This is fun for me. Okay. This is We Followed the Mississippi All the Way Down. We followed the Mississippi all the way down until rapids shot from our ears and sand clung to our fingertips. We held the childlike touch of a castle builder, castaways rising to a dock alongside floods of cyan. Standing above the ocean, my knees buckled, but heat on my best friend's skin bowed to the waters. A young, freckled girl next to us didn't think twice before giving herself to the abysmal. Clasping hands, we jumped into velvet covers and became salt water. I tasted minerals of earth that dripped into tidal concaves. Water crashes into her hair, mistaking its sandy tone for beaches. Sea creatures questioned if she held answers in her palms. I feel the dark side of the sun, and ocean bellows chatter in my teeth, knocking them out. I spit into my hand and behold a necklace of pearls. I strung them around her neck. It's a great poem, Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay, when I was thinking about what poem of mine I was going to share, I don't have a ton specifically about like adolescence age, at least I'm starting to. And so I have a short, newer piece that I'm going to share that I've never shared with anybody. So you guys get to hear it first. Also, I hope this is adolescence age, if I know what ages are. This is called Third Grade. My storms are as loud as a whisper. I think my teacher sees it. My report card says, Kelsey is quiet and helpful in class, but she will have to have extra effort at home to learn. Please assist her in doing so. I wonder if he's trying to teach my parents too. I wonder if he knows they don't read his reports. I wonder if he knows I'm quiet because I'm ready for their forecast. I wonder if he knows how tightly I hold my stuffed bear when their thunder shakes my walls each night. I wonder if he knows I'm quiet because their rain muted me. I wonder if he knows I try to splash in the puddles that I create every day as I walk to school so that I can keep my storms as loud as a whisper in his classroom.
Thank you, Kelsey. Beautiful job. Beautiful poem. Okay. Okay, where we go? Shisha?
Okay. Let me just get my poem. Kelly chose from the reflection section birthday cakes of my lifetime, which is great because I love birthdays and I love birthday cakes and I love cake. So it was a great choice in general. Birthday cakes of my lifetime. 5 years old, puffing out candles on a cake decorated in Dalmatians. Dad to the left of me, clapping his hands. I peer into his pale turquoise eyes, wondering how many dogs he's loved. 8 years old, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting. I share the day with a cousin who celebrates his birth 3 days before my own. I ache to live in a treehouse and be the healer of broken branches. 12 years old, retro stools filled with classmates. My party shut down the diner. Before I make a wish, I look those in the eye who I grew alongside, each one. They tell me to hurry before the candle wax drips on the cake. 18 years old, my best friend's hair as golden as our preschool days. All these moments unspool a thread between us. We snap a picture, then celebrate adulthood. 20 years old, I move on to red velvet. It feels more grown up. Though I miss the cakes that shouted my name from the rooftop, I begin to recognize the woman in the mirror. This year, on the evening of my birthday, you'll find confetti strewn across the floor of a cozy home. My lover will gather dirty sunsets I discarded, scrub their beacons, and lift me with cheers made of the living. I'll try to make my remaining years sound like a folk song. Such a beautiful poem, to be honest. The one of my own that I will be reading, it's unpublished. It's called Room on the Moon. I've been there before, to the moon, millions of years before I even knew me or knew you, or that the body cells are renewed every 7 to 10 years, or that if you swirl water over authentic honey, it will form hexagonal shapes, because honey remembers, because water remembers, because the body remembers everything, even though we want to forget that it remembers. I remember that I've been there before, to the moon, where I tiptoed in silver ballet shoes around craters, where I danced between atoms, molding them, shaping them to form an image, stacking them like Jenga blocks, caressing them like a potter's clay vase. When I look at my image in the mirror, splash water around the edges of my face, soak my body in lakes, hide my toes in waves, I look for hexagonal shapes. I look for craters. I look for the moon. I look for stardust because I remember that I've been there before, to the moon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful poem. Okay, I think it's time to have us a drawing. However, I have a feeling that when I do this drawing, that most everybody's already going to have the prize. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. In the chat, you can send it as a private message to me if you want, if you don't want your email address shown. Put your email address if you do not have a copy of Kelly's ebook for this. I'm glad we did this. So if you don't have a copy for the ebook, I'm going to give away a copy of the ebook. Or if you would still like another copy link that you'd like to share with somebody else, you could do that. So just put your private message me your email address if you're interested in one, and I'll send that out. Okay. And next, we're going to have a drawing for the grand prize, which is an actual physical copy of Kelly's book. So I'm going to pull my little wheel of fortune here up. Spin. And the winner is Nora. Congratulations, Nora. You have won a paperback copy of Kelly's book. If you want to private message me your name, address, and unfortunately, I have to put your phone number because shipping requires it. But just private message it to me. I'll send you a copy of the book. Congratulations. So, without any further ado, let's welcome our guest of honor, Kelly, who's going to bless us with the reading of her poetry and anything else that she wants to share.
Thank you. I'm super excited that this is out. I've been, see there, no, my dog's trying to now decide to play all of a sudden, of course. But I had the idea for this in 2020, I believe I started working on it, and I sent it to a couple of venues, and a lot of you in here are writers, so you know what that process is like and how it entails many rejections. And then Lisa connected with it, and I was just so happy the way that she spoke about it, and she has put in so much work behind the scenes for me, from graphics to editing to cover design. So I'm very thankful to her and her help. And thank you to the readers today that came to help kick this event off. I appreciate everyone that's here today. So the first poem that I'm going to read is from the childhood section, and it's the one poem that mentions my dad, and I know he's in here watching and listening on his TV. They're fancy with their setup. But really it's about taking me to my grandma's house. I have lots of grandma poems in here, and my grandma passed away my senior year of high school. So a lot of my good childhood memories included her. So we'll start there. That day on Sullivan Street. My father's car sailed down the faithful road that cut through our hometown. My ears buzzed with the promise of hearing my grandmother's voice. Golden beams outlined her maple tree, where the tire swing sprung roots. My scuffed shoes met her driveway. The blonde rim of sun turned crisp, edge of earth now buttered and baked. My skin licked by butterscotch light. Without roaring clouds or chills pulled from the spine of midnight, streams tapped on tin roofs. Bold showers mingled, diving into the center of sunshine. I found daydreams could live in the same place as scraped knees and dried tears. On eves when snow sticks in my throat, I long to hear an ensemble of hazel eyes and undented youth. I hold my palms out, feeling horizons, surrendered river revival. Thank you. So that poem was fun to write. It was about a specific memory of getting to my grandma's house with my dad, and it started raining while it was sunny outside. And I had never seen that before as a little kid, so it was very surreal to me. Next, I'd like to read a poem out of the adolescence section. This poem is inspired by the friends that I grew up with, and thankfully they're still in my life today. So the childhood section is really driven by experiences I had with my friends Lauren and Kendall, and then the adolescent section focuses on my time with Kelby, Molly, Michaela, Harley, Charity. And I have a poem that name drops them, so I figured it'd be a good one to read today since Kelby is here and he's a star. So, familiar. The air was easier to swallow back then. My hands always found someone else reaching back toward me. And after I screamed, I no longer felt the need to scream. In old photos, you can't see the uneven parts of our frames or the offbeat hiccups in our throats. only pure bliss in being alive. Cherry red hair was familiar, saving music to listen to later, and Charity asking me, what if it's the best song ever and you're just letting it sit there? Near her, sunsets were tangerine, not orange, and grocery store cake was sugared by the force that causes rich toothaches. Diner lights the color of burnt smoke, sun, broke through our nights. How she swayed and bounded to music was familiar. Harley held my curls in a restaurant bathroom when anxiety engulfed my veins. Earth stitched her laugh into my pulse. I listen for it on days my soul burns for youth. I turned dials at the radio station. They let me settle my head into them when static buzzed too loudly. The cement pathway to his front door was familiar. Kelby and I found each other in noon-hour silence. His fingertips light candles that flicker for lifetimes, no matter how hard hot breaths try to crush the flame. We saw ourselves in a group of gray-haired companions, shaking the ground with hoots and hollers on a late-night burger run. The interior of her black Pontiac was familiar. Michaela and I walked on dusk's back until the small-town river curved toward her feet. River rocks always followed the call of her wrist, and in evenings the dam reflected her. We chewed the moon. Did you guys spit it back out? Mine is still in the back of my teeth. Velvety hands that helped straighten the back of my hair were familiar. When summer hit just right, Molly and I walked through trails along Lime Creek, and wildflowers bowed to her. We all invited the wind to swim through our hair as lyrics nosedived from our lips, and we offered our songs to gravel roads. I knew the cracks by memory in each poem that built me. I think I'd still recognize them, even with the mark of time. Thank you guys so much. So those were 2 poems from I'm Glad We Did This, and that's all I'm going to read from I'm Glad We Did This because it's such a short, it is a chapbook, so it's shorter. So leave some mystery for those of you that haven't gotten through it yet. But I'm also going to read one poem from my first book, Early Cuts, and even the covers just show how these are so opposite. A little bit more dark, moody vibes with this, and this is very happy, cheerful, nostalgic. And I'm thankful to have had those happy, cheerful, nostalgic times. And I say this when I talk with my husband, Ryan, who's sitting next to me, that I think it's important to include moments of light in the book. So Early Cuts isn't all moody. There's moments in it that showcase the beauty of life, the ups and downs of it. And this is my full length, and as Lisa said, it was published in May 2023 with Kelsey Books, and I'm so thankful to have had 2 books come out this year. It's always been my dream to write books, and you know, this is very surreal, and my 3rd book will come out at the beginning of 2024. And that's with Moonlove Press. It's called Harvest is a Chapel, and it's Ryan's favorite book because it's about him and our dog. So but now I'll read this piece from Early Cuts called Shedding. I threw reckoning into the horizon, and it came back as melted sun, slipping from my palms to wind-bent grass, slithering into fields where you can still taste dirt from farmers' boots. It crawls, searching for the heat of my open palms. Little does this earth know they are now fists. They've been clenched for so long, my skin is now the color of forgotten pomegranates. Clenched because snakes bite and houses rattle. I run toward midnight and embrace it with a force of love, as if it were my grandfather returned to life. Then I shed the parts of myself that daylight cannot handle. Thank you. So those are the 3 poems that I wanted to share with all of you today. And just, you know, you being here means so much and listening to me. And thank you so much. Now I'll turn it back to Lisa.
Thank you, Kelly. Beautiful poems, and I'm so glad to hear one from your other book. It's great. I have yet to get that. I keep going to ask you for an autographed copy. So, yeah, one of these days we'll get that accomplished. So I want to thank everybody for coming, but I do want to give everybody an opportunity to share anything they'd like to share. And I see wonderful comments showing up in the chat. I'm definitely will save this chat for you, Kelly. But does anybody have anything else they'd like to offer before we start coming to a close?
I have a question for Kelly. I just want to know, what are you working on now, Kelly? Because you said you have a book coming out next year. Are you working on anything else right now?
Yes. Thank you. Very good question. Right now, I am working on a full-length book of poetry, and it's really just about navigating being a young adult and just not always feeling like I know what I'm doing or what's going on. And, sometimes I feel so much like an imposter, especially at work. Like, I can't believe they're letting me teach English, even though I went to school for that. So just navigating all those emotions and feelings, and it's definitely fun because I'm drawing in many aspects of my life. And a project that I have just started a little bit is a children's book about Cedar called Cedar the Reader. Yeah, and we have some different ideas, Ryan and I, about how she can explore, because he's always one that helps me come up with good ideas. And Cedar is just a great dog to have. She's always been involved in my work. She got to be, I took her picture and she was on the cover of a magazine one year. So she's a lot of fun. So I think it'll be nice to kind of give my brain a break from the poetry, because sometimes I just I feel like I need to be writing more and more and more, but it's good to take breaks. It's good to read, do different things, and I'll be writing poetry in between writing the children's book.
Okay, sounds like you have quite a few interesting things going on. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I see Jill raising her hand.
Jill, you have to unmute.
I wondered before we left if you would, Kelly, if you would read Birthday Cakes of My Lifetime.
Yes. Let me get through it here.
It's a beautiful poem.
Thank you. And another mention and shout out to my dad in this one, and he's watching. My mom's like, where are the mentions about me? I'm sure. But no, she appeared in early cuts as well. Birthday Cakes of My Lifetime. 5 years old, puffing out candles on a cake decorated in Dalmatians. Dad to the left of me, clapping his hands. I peer into his pale turquoise eyes, wondering how many dogs he's loved. 8 years old, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting. I share the day with a cousin who celebrates his birth 3 days before my own. I ache to live in a treehouse and be the healer of broken branches. 12 years old, retro stools filled with classmates. My party shut down the diner. Before I make a wish, I look those in the eye who I grew alongside, each one. They tell me to hurry before the candle wax drips on the cake. 18 years old, my best friend's hair as golden as our preschool days. All these moments unspool a thread between us. We snap a picture, then celebrate adulthood. 20 years old, I move on to red velvet. It feels more grown up. Though I miss the cakes that shouted my name from the rooftop, I began to recognize the woman in the mirror. This year, on the evening of my birthday, you'll find confetti strewn across the floor of a cozy home. My lover will gather dirty sunsets I discarded, scrub their beacons, and lift me with cheers made of the living. I'll try to make my remaining years sound like a folk song.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Kelly. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everybody for.
We want to know if Kelly can show us her dog Cedar.
Oh yeah, that would be lovely.
Yes, she loves to. Come here. She's
Aw.
acting like a baby right now. Come here. You love attention. I know you do.
Aw. Hello, Cedar.
So she's 8 years old, and like I said, she's the subject of my next writing project. And this summer, she actually got hit by a truck and had to go to the animal hospital. So we're very thankful that she's here. She's okay. She's back to running and jumping around and all sorts of shenanigans, playing with our puppy. So thank you, Cedar. You say hi.
So cute. Does anybody else have anything they'd want to offer? Okay, well,
I just want to quick say that I'm just so proud of you, Kelly, and I can't wait to keep watching what you keep producing and creating, but it's just such an honor to know you, and to hear you and us read your work is just so cool. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Well, thank you all so much for coming out today, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. It's football time, so go Panthers for us. I don't know about who you're rooting for. But thank you so much, and you'll have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.